Well, hello and welcome everyone to this webinar to cover football at Swansea University. My name is Roger Davis. As part of my role, I look at sports recruitment and raising the profile of sport at Swansea University. So I know for many of you, choosing university is an important decision, and sport is equally as important as well. We've got to make sure that the decision you make is right for you, not only academically but sporting wise as well, so that you can follow your ambitions in your chosen sport. But tonight we've got football. It's great to see so many of you logging in. Some of you are still joining. So thank you all for attending. At Swansea, sport is a huge part, as I said, and we cater for all levels, from beginners all the way through to high performance, and football is no exception to that. We've got over 55 sports clubs across the university, so there's a huge opportunity to get involved in a number of sports when you join the university. So without further ado, I'll introduce David Evans and Stephen Green, who look after the football programme. They'll take you through the presentation. There is a Q&A question box, so if you've got any questions as we go through the presentation, please feel free to drop the questions in there. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll go through and answer as many of those as we can. So again, thanks for joining, and Dav, I'll hand over to you to take it from here.
Thank you, Roger. Yes, welcome to all people who are viewing this webinar of the football club here at Swansea University. We're going to try and compress a lot of information into some slides to really give everyone of every background an understanding of the football club and the fantastic experiences you can expect if you come and study at Swansea University and play in the football club. So just moving forward here, a couple of slides, just introduction about myself. As Director of Football at Swansea University, I've been at the university 5 years, with Swansea City previously as a coach, and before then a 15-year coaching career in Washington, DC, with DC United as an All-American coach in the American system. Currently studying my UEFA Pro license this year in 2021 to completion. Joining us also on this webinar will be Stephen Green. Stephen is head of the ladies program with us at Swansea University Football Club, and also part of the staff at Swansea City, and he will be speaking a little bit later in the webinar. This video can be found also on the website, and it gives a good kind of background of the football club and all the facilities that we have on the campuses at Swansea University, and all the benefits of the football club. So I thoroughly encourage you all to search this on the website and view in your own time. This is the kind of overall look of the football club. Now, the biggest club in Wales, we have up to 700 participants of all different backgrounds, abilities, stretching from the men's squads, which we have an intramural league, to British University Bucks level, and now into the top level of domestic Welsh football after recently winning the Welsh Championship, achieving Tier 1 status towards obtaining our place in the Welsh Premier League. The ladies now are basically following the same pathway as the men's. They've had a very successful couple of years, won regional domestic leagues, going into the second tier of Welsh football, and again chasing that target of Tier 1 in Welsh football. Also compete at Bucks level. Also, we have a very successful futsal program, which is only 3 years old, but kind of risen to success immediately. And we kind of compete in Welsh futsal, in Bucks futsal, and being the current Welsh futsal champions, we have just recently competed in the UEFA Champions League, also in futsal. Partnerships, we have a close partnership with the professional club Swansea City, where we share facilities, resources, ideas, staff, training, work experiences with students, etc. So it's been a very good marriage and a growing relationship there with an excellent football club, which kind of twins very, very well in the city of Swansea. Pathway, as I said, opportunity for all levels when you come and play football, and an opportunity to progress and develop through the program and through the club, from intramural, from that engagement level, as you see, to an aspire level, which is bucks, fours and thirds, and then moving into the inspire, the top of the club, bucks seconds, under 19s football, Welsh Championship, and bucks Premier League football for the men's. Very successful 4 years the club has had. We've won championships in each of the years and promotion all the way up to the higher end of Welsh football, and recently just achieved our Tier 1 licence that will give us the opportunity to go and play in the Welsh Premier League, which we hope we will achieve on the grass again this coming season. Pathways, many pathways in football, more opportunities these days than ever across the globe, really, in football. And just examples of students we have one player on the screen right now is a young man called JB Fisher, who's 22 years of age, will just now finish a master's at Swansea University, previously won a national championship with Georgetown University in the US, was previously a captain of PSG Academy all the way through until the age of 18. And he's been with us as a player this year and is now currently training with Swansea City under 23s, and will graduate with a School of Management Business Masters, and is still on the pathway to working towards a career in professional football. Former players, we have a lot of players who come through Swansea University Football Club and obviously have a fantastic playing experience and play at a high level with us, but have really connected with football and stayed in football as employment. So on the screen is Jordan Smith, who's currently the first team sports scientist in the Premier League with Brighton under Graham Potter. The second went via Swansea City in the Premier League, also to LA Galaxy in the MLS as a sports scientist, and is currently back in the UK. And we just have a short video here of Will Sparks speaking about his current career and previous studies.
My name is Will. I graduated with a BSc in Sports Science from Swansea University back in 2013. And during the final year of my undergraduate degree, got a part-time internship with Swansea City Football Club through the links with the university. And this really gave my first insight into how a professional sports team works. And this led on to a Masters by Research project with Swansea University in collaboration with the club. We were looking at characterising the physiological responses to games. And doing that project really allowed me to embed myself down at the club day to day and build good relationships with the staff that I had there at the time. So when I completed my master's project, I got offered my first full-time role as a sports scientist. And I spent 5 years at Swansea City, which is a really good experience with them being in the Premier League at the time. And alongside my full-time role with the club, I undertook a part-time PhD researching the responses to the different training sessions that we did at Swansea City, with the aim of improving the way that we manage the players. So my time in Swansea, both at university and at the club, definitely helped me to get my current role, which is as a sports scientist with LA Galaxy in America. So I'd definitely say that my time in Swansea shaped my career. It gave me the skills that I needed to be a sports scientist, gave me really good insight into how we manage elite athletes, how we use research to develop and improve our applied practice, how we can use data to hopefully inform better decisions, and hopefully all these will lead to a better performance from our players on the field.
So some great insight there from Will Sparks, one of our previous players and students. So just moving back now to reintroduce Stephen Green, who will discuss the women's section of the programme at Swansea University.
Thank you, Dav. So yeah, just to introduce myself, I'm a B licensed coach and studied sports coaching and performance myself. I've been at the university coming up to 2 years now. Previously, I've coached Swansea City Girls Development Centres for a range of age groups, with a number of players going on to play international football at their respective age groups. And I've also been involved at Swansea City Community Trust, delivering a range of programmes within the community across South West Wales. So again, similar to the men, this is the pathway that we currently have. Again, it's very inclusive. So if you can see at the bottom, it starts off potentially with turn up and play football for females who might be quite new to football, inexperienced. This is very much informal sessions, which we try and focus on the social side and enjoyment. And as we work your way up, on the right-hand side are the opportunities within the Bucks League. We'll play in midweek. And we have 2 teams that obviously compete in 11-a-side football and 1 futsal squad also. And on the left-hand side are our 2 teams that fit within the domestic leagues and play on the weekends. So that's an under-19s team and our first team will compete in the championship. As first-year students, a lot of them generally fit in within the under-19s or the second team, with a hope for them to sort of develop and become first-team players. But there's nothing saying that if you arrive when you're a very talented player, then you can't step into the top of the ladder and become a first-team player from the off. This is just sort of our little slogan, try and provide ladies with the tools and experience to reach their full potential. The image there was from last season, where the team was successfully winning the South Wales Bucks Cup. We also won the West Wales Women's and Girls League last season, so it was a very successful season on the field. I believe that we really do provide fantastic opportunity with some high performance training at unbelievable facilities, alongside strength and conditioning support, physiotherapy, and match analysis. It really, provides players with the tools that they need to succeed and get the best out of themselves. And then again, just to summarise, this is a quick overview of the club. So 2 teams in the Bucks League that compete midweek, 2 teams in domestic league that compete on weekends. Our first team on the weekend currently compete in the FAW Championship. Our aim is to try and win that league in the next year or 2. And then we would be playing within the highest league in Welsh football against the best clubs across the country. So hopefully you could join us and be a part of that. There's potential route to European and Champions League football from that league, again, if we have further success. The under-19s are playing a Development League South across South West Wales against the best clubs. So again, it's a fantastic opportunity for us to develop young talent. And again, so we got the Futsal League, which again competes each week against some fantastic clubs. And once again, if you're new to football and you haven't played so much before, then you can fit in within our turn up and play football sessions too.
Brilliant. Thank you, Steve. Just a great insight to the brilliant work going on with Stephen Green with the ladies program. Just moving on to another segment of the club, which has grown significantly, which is the futsal program, which is run by our director of futsal, Adam Orme, who's currently pictured on the slide. Adam is a captain at Swansea University Futsal, and he's also the captain of Wales Futsal. Adam's grown the club significantly last few years to be in the Champions of Wales, where they've also now played in the Champions League, also represented Wales this year. So that's the pathway really for futsal for the men's and the ladies, in an introduction to the game, an aspire level, and then now what's quickly formed is an inspire level at the highest level of futsal in Wales, and now competing in European football, or futsal, I should say. And that was the picture taken from one of their recent ties away to the Polish champions in Poland. Just moving on, really, trials is very often something that comes up as questions from prospective students or prospective players, and understandably. So when you do enroll at Swansea University, it can be at different times of the year, or you you might know when you're coming to Swansea University at different times of year. It could be early in the spring, it could be the summer, it could be through clearing. But whenever you do arrive at Swansea University, it usually is in September or late August, the main trials for the men's and the ladies will be run mid-September. You would receive information from the Freshers' Fair when you arrive on campus in September for those trials, but you would be able to actually access information regarding trials on the websites in the weeks before you arrive at Swansea University, and also via our social media platforms. So please look out for all those information at the football club, on social media, or on the website. You'll find that. If you do have extra information about yourself and you play at a high level for football currently, and if you do want to send that information in to us to maybe join the high performing teams, you can do that via the website. A Google Doc is there for you to fill in your full player profiles and your backgrounds onto that Google Doc with your email address, which we regularly look at and access and communicate back with prospective players. Just finally, really on this slide, just an email address. If you do want to email any questions to the club, as far as the men's side, the ladies' side, or the futsal side, please email us at the email that's on your screen. But huge thanks from us for joining us on this webinar. Again, you have our Twitter, Instagram handle there also if you want to follow us at Swansea University Football Club. That concludes the webinar. Roger, any questions at all?
Yeah, thanks Paul for that really insightful look into football at Swansea University from both men's and the women's section. And yeah, it kind of encompasses the sport for all approach. There's opportunities there for everybody, no matter what level, and it's really really encouraging to see the clubs grow and develop as they have over the last few years, and that's down to you guys and your dedication to the clubs. Yeah, a huge amount of questions come through, Dav. I think I'll try and rattle through them as quickly as possible. A lot of them I think you have answered within the presentation. I think one for you from Harry: what if you don't get to the first team? Is there a progression through the teams? Yes, absolutely. I think you've covered that. What leagues do the women's team play in? We've covered that. Do the women's and men's team train the same facilities? I think they all train in Fairwood on the Swansea City Football Club training facilities.
That's right, yeah. So the men's and the ladies, Bucks and Welsh football squads all train at Swansea City's training ground. And just a reminder, really, if you can go onto the website to look at the video, you'll be very impressed with the facilities we have at Swansea University. So please do that. So we also are blessed, Roger, we also have very good facilities at Sketty, at Singleton, also more grass fields and 3G fields on another campus also for various other parts of the programme as well. So between Swansea City, Fairwood and Sketty, Singleton, we're extremely lucky with the level of facilities that is available.
Perfect. Let me just carry on with the questions. Trials, I think we've covered that. One interesting one here from Carlos. I'm an international student. Can I still play football at Swansea University?
Yeah, answer to that is yes. As they enroll as a student, they become eligible to play in all our intramural leagues within the club. They'll be eligible to play in our British Bucks Championship against other universities. It's a case-by-case then for international players. If they were obviously reached the level and good enough also to play on the weekends in domestic Welsh football, that would be a case-by-case for international players. But all of the levels of football, the Bucks intramural, they would be eligible to play at Swansea University.
Perfect. I think we've got one here from Ewan. What days do you train and play games?
Yeah, I think the club is so big. There's different levels of training and commitment for different levels within the club. but obviously the top end of the club, the Bucks players, the Welsh League players, men's and ladies, they will train anywhere between two and 4 times a week, based on the games program. If there's 2 games a week on a Wednesday and a Saturday, for example, then they would train slightly less. They recover, strength and conditioning sessions, performance analysis. If there's 1 game a week, they would then go up another training session within that program. And obviously, as you go down in the program, the intramural teams potentially might play twice a week, and they might train once a week. So it all depends on the level you're participating at within the club, and it all depends on the games program as well. How many games are you playing that week? And then obviously we have sports scientists to make sure that none of the players really overtrain in those critical periods, because injury prevention is also very important in our season.
Brilliant. Just scrolling through. We got one here from Luke. Is it possible to scout it through the football team? I think you've already given a great example of how that can happen, Dav, and for players to progress onwards, even into professional football through the program as well. So you've already covered that, I think, within the presentation. One here from Josh. Are there opportunities to apply for scholarship program? I can pick up on this. Yes, definitely. We have an extensive sports scholarship program at the university. We cover all sports, not just football. There's a page on the website which you can check out, and you can apply there. There's normally a deadline at the end of March, early April, so keep an eye on the website for that. The application window does open again for a week or a couple of weeks around clearing time as well. So if you're coming through clearing or you've missed the deadline, please keep an eye on that page to submit your application. We are very lucky as well. At Swansea University, we're part of we've got a TAS accreditation. TAS means Talented Athlete Scholarship Scheme, and as part of that, the university supports elite athletes to combine their education with their sport. So we've got full-time members of staff looking after that program and doing an excellent job in supporting some of our elite athletes. There's certain instances where they get academic flexibility, if there's competitions or training clashing with exams or assignments. So it really is a great program to be part of, and that is improving year on year as well. So we're really fortunate to have that as well as the sports scholarship offer. What else we got? There's a number of questions that come in. How many players you've got in your squads? I think we've covered that. A lot of questions. Do you have to be doing sport to compete in the football club? Absolutely not. I'm sure there's people within the club that are doing all manner of courses.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's a brilliant mix actually, and it leads to great team spirit. Really, we have a really good cross-reference of study focus, from medical to business to sports science to engineering to computer science. A complete variety of subjects studied by our players in the club.
Fantastic. A really nice comment here from Taylor saying really impressed by what I've seen at Swansea University, and it's great that we were able to showcase really what the program is all about, and for you guys to get to learn, and to learn more about both the university and the club. I think we tight for time, I think, but I think I'll squeeze one more in. One from Alex here. I will be studying on the Bay campus. How do most players get to training from there?
Yeah, it's interesting. What we've done in the past, we've actually run a shuttle bus really from that campus on a training night to Fairwood, Roger. That helps some of those younger players. Obviously, some of the older players drive and they share cars with teammates to training. But the last couple of years, we've been operating on a busy training night, a shuttle bus that goes between the Bay campus and Singleton to arrive at Swansea City's Fairwood ground. So that's worked well in the past. So we'll monitor going into next year, we'll monitor again the numbers for training and where they live, etc., to help students as much as possible.
Fantastic. I think that bringing us to a close, I think, for this webinar. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. It's fantastic to see so many of you on the call this evening. Thanks to David and to Stephen for presenting tonight. This webinar is being recorded, by the way, so you will be able to see a recording of this webinar on the website, so you can catch up. And to if you want to look at something in more detail, you can pause the webinar and get in contact. And as we said, there is a form on the website, so if you want to get in contact, there's a form there that you can complete, which will come through to the guys here. So yeah, just wanted to wrap it up and thank everybody, and good luck, and hopefully we'll see you at Swansea University very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you all.